Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's been a while. 2022 has been pretty busy. And what a better way to start 2023 than to look back at 2022 and see what went down. Let's get into it. Now, what we're doing now is pretty much what I recommend you to do as well every single year, which is write a little note every single time something really good happens in a week or in a month, and put them together somewhere safe. They will find them at the end of the year, and then at the end of the year or start of the new year in this case, get them all and look back through them and bring a smile to your face. Let's see what 2022 brought. January 30th, my first real snowboard lesson, which was quite fun. I had tried snowboarding 3 years prior to that, but without an actual lesson. We just hopped on and tried, and it sucked. This time I really got a lesson and it was good. I can really say that I'm improving. Yeah, on March 8th, 2022, I had to dress up like the mascot of our ski school. That was fun. That was really fun. Look at that. March 25th, Romania against Greece. It was a friendly match. Greece won 1-0. It was in Bucharest at the new Steaua Stadium, which I was more than happy to visit for the first time in my life. I'm still upset that I did not see it before it was reconstructed, but it was nice. It was quite a nice atmosphere. April 12, Bayern against Villarreal in the Champions League quarter-final. It was 1-1 after full time. It was a crazy match. It was the second leg, the first leg, and then 1-0 for Villarreal. And yeah, I knew they would cause some problems, so I went to that match and sat right next to the Villarreal fans, somehow. I did not have my ticket there, but anyhow. It was amazing. When Villarreal scored that 1-1 equalizer, that was amazing. It was like 10 minutes to go or 5 minutes to go. May 14th, 1860 Munich against the second team of Borussia Dortmund in the third division of German football, ended 6-3 to 1860 Munich, which was a crazy match. I still cannot believe that so many goals happened. It was amazing. Some really quality football from both teams. On May 31st, I visited Bucharest for the first time in my life, the capital of my beautiful home country. Yeah, it was really the first time I had the time to visit the city, and it is beautiful. And obviously, visiting it, I had to visit its main stadiums, check it out. Then on June 4th, I had departed to the United States for the first time. I was also leaving Europe for the first time ever in my life. That was quite a big step for me. Oh yeah, and it was a pretty crazy story about that flight, because you see, on June 3rd, one day before my actual flight, I had been contacted that my direct flight from Munich to Chicago had been cancelled. So I had to take another route, and the first routes they had shown me for like 2 or 3 hours were Munich, San Francisco, and then San Francisco, Chicago, which would have been a very long detour, of course. Luckily, a few hours later, they showed me a route via New York. And then obviously I was very jet-lagged and tired the next day, but I still attended WWE Hell in a Cell, which was a very good show. It was much better than anyone expected. I put out a vlog on that too. It was really good. On July 23rd, I attended Bayern against Manchester City at the historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Whew, that was a mouthful. It was a pretty fun trip because I did not have a car, and Green Bay was about 3 hours away. 2 hours away by car, and I did not have a car, so I had to take a bus, or 2 buses to be exact, from where I was staying in Wisconsin Dells to Milwaukee, and then from Milwaukee to Green Bay. when the game actually started, a storm came about the stadium, and the stadium was not covered, so it was a pretty big deal. It was pouring rain, and we had to get back inside the stadium and take shelter. So the match had to be postponed for about half an hour. Then they finally played about 15 minutes. Man City, Haaland even scored his first goal for Man City, and right after that they interrupted the match again for about 1 more hour. And a few weeks after that, on August 10th, I went to another football match, this time in Minneapolis, or technically in St. Paul, Minnesota, at the Allianz Field, which is the younger cousin of the Allianz Arena. That was the MLS All-Star game. The MLS All-Stars played against Liga MX All-Stars, which is the Mexican league. But the highlight came after the match, because on the same day AEW Dynamite took place in Minneapolis, and I had bought my football tickets before I knew that they were gonna have Dynamite in Minneapolis. So yeah, I missed it. And that was also the return of CM Punk after his injury. Yeah, that would have been awesome. But more on that later. Now, on my way back from the match to the bus station to take my bus back home at 1 AM or something, I went by the arena that Dynamite was held in, and who should walk out very casually with only one security guard but Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed. He was nice enough to give me a picture. You can see here. And funny story about that picture, my phone almost died before taking the picture. It did not want to open the camera app right away, so I had to wait about 1 minute, which is a lot when you want to just take a picture with someone. And the funny thing is, the months before that, I've had several dreams about meeting famous people. I want to take a picture with them, and my phone not responding. 2 weeks later we went to Madison, Wisconsin, which apparently is the capital of Wisconsin. And I went there with my 2 roommates, with Tolga and Bilal. Hey guys, miss you a lot. So we watched a football match, of course. September 4th, I attended AEW All Out, which was the best show I've ever seen. Then on September 10th, I had spent a very nice day in Chicago with my relatives, and then we went to a football match, of course, Chicago Fire versus Inter Miami, which was a pretty decent match. And in the end, I drank, or attempted to drink, a chocolate cake shake, which, by the way, if you're ever in Chicago, you should absolutely do. 2 days later, I spent the day in Chicago by myself, just wandering around, which was very nice as well. I was very amazed by the tall buildings there. And naturally, I did a stadium tour at Soldier Field, which, as I learned later, it is the smallest stadium in the NFL. Which I was pretty surprised about, because it seats about 60-something thousand, right? 61,000. Which is pretty big for European standards, actually. But yeah, I did a video on that too if you want to check it out. And I attended a few more matches at the Allianz Arena: Bayern against Leverkusen, Bayern against Viktoria Plzen, Bayern against Freiburg. And on October 19th, I went to a 50 Cent concert. Check it out right here. Obviously, he does not sound like he used to in the mid 2000s, but he put on a great show. Then October 23rd, oh man, what a game that was. Again, a football match, of course. This video is full of football matches, but it was really a highlight because it was a Legends game against of Bayern against 1860 Munich at the Old Olympic Stadium in Munich, because the Olympic Stadium celebrated 50 years of existence. So they celebrated that with this Legends game. It ended 8-6 to FC Bayern, which was nuts to see 14 goals. Obviously, a lot of those people are in their 50s, or 40s, 50s, you know, maybe even 60s, some of them. Obviously, they cannot run as they used to, or they cannot run as Mbappe does right now, but damn, they still got skill. And on November 1st, Bayern plays against Inter in the Champions League, and I got the chance to meet Cristi Chivu, a Romanian football legend who is managing the Inter under-19 side, who played here as well against Bayern's under-19 as part of the youth league. And he was nice enough to take pictures with us as well. This time the camera worked. And on November 24th, probably the greatest day of this year, my girlfriend and I got an apartment in Munich, a very own apartment. And I was very relieved. We're still working on it to this day, because when we got it, it was completely empty, so we had to buy all the furniture. Yeah, it was a lot of work. It still is a lot of work, especially since we don't have internet yet. But hey, I have my PlayStation, so that can keep me entertained. Whew. Then we come to December, the last few days of the year. Between December 16th to 19th, we went to Hamburg to a birthday party. And if you do not know Hamburg, it is well, not quite, but it is almost at the very top of Germany, so it's a very long way from Munich. We drove about 9 hours, but it was worth it. We met there with our friend who had a birthday, and yeah, she welcomed us very warmly. We saw quite a few things, especially the Christmas market in St. Pauli, the red light district. We got her at 11 p.m. and she said, "Hey, let's go to the Christmas market, let's meet there." I said, would it be open at that time? And yeah, since it's near the red light district, it was still open, alright. It even had strip shows every half an hour, and they were selling pretty much everything in the form of a penis. So yeah, it was fun. Also in Hamburg we went to the Miniaturwunderland, or the Miniature Wonderland. Yeah, Miniature Wonderland. Which is an amazing museum. I had been last year as well, and I really recommend you to go there. It is nuts how much detail they put into that museum. And then we went to the theater, which in Hamburg it is very big as well, so it is very important. They have a very big, they have a huge theater scene in Hamburg, and I really recommend you to go there, especially the Heiße Ecke, or the hot corner, which is basically the entire red light district into one show. And what is crazy about that as well, about that show in particular, is that there are only 9 actors who play about 50 roles. So that changed really quickly every time. It was nuts. And it took me a while to catch up on that, because I did not know that beforehand. So yeah, that has been my 2022 in a nutshell. I've left out a few things. Mainly I played and beat some games, you know, like God of War Ragnarok, or Little Nightmares 2, or Stray, and stuff like that. But yeah, those are not as important as the things that I actually shared with you. I hope you had a good time. Keep in mind, do this thing yourself. Every time something really good happens, write it on a little note, put it away safely, and at the end of the year, you'll thank me. It's been a pleasure ranting at you again, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.